I must mention, I slur my words a lot due to a minor speech impediment, and probably ADHD if I talk too fast. I am jumping right in. I have never done commentary before, but here we go. Animation memes. Videos of multicolored, bicolored, or even solid-colored grayscale or grayscale characters dancing or moving on your screen to music. Animation meme is a short animation of a character, usually original characters, OCs, dancing, sometimes singing along to music, created to be easily adopted by other animators with their own characters. Typically, they are used with furry characters, but can have feral characters, humans, humanoids, objects, and you name it. Hell, even a fan or phantom characters end up in these things. I'm very guilty of this. Well, if you've been around the internet for if you're at least 17, this was made around when you were born, which happened to be there. This was the first ever seemingly recorded animation meme on YouTube. It doesn't explicitly state it's an animation meme, but the definition of an animation meme fits, and it became a trend or a meme among animators. There are over 1 million animation memes recorded when you take a look on Google, some great and some not so great. There are so many memes among YouTube and so many great animators and examples. Some of my favorite ones or I've watched over the years are Sir Fluff, Polar Summit, Miko Sakari, Roxy, Winged Wolf 94, and Niven, if I said that right, and so many more. As you can see, I have had my past experience as well, and I really liked animating FNAF characters in general. It's been my hyperfixation and special interest since it came out, but that's not the point. I personally love animation memes, but they sure are a hell ton of work, which I still enjoy animating sometimes. I'm actually working on a map part as this video is being written and recorded. But the community does have its downsides. There are a lot of creators like myself and me when I was younger who, and I maybe even you, looked up to have become problematic, to say the least. Creators such as Polybius, Birdie, at least when they were younger, I believe most of that stuff was cleared up, I might be wrong here. And as of recent, Pass-Through or Salem, they're trying to cover up the fact that they are Pass-Through. Foxy Boxy, Kitty Dog, again, I think might have been cleared up, and even Sashley, at least in the old days. They have all, at one point, have been problematic to the community or have had slander, rumors, or even just truth about them being leaked, who they truly are, looking at you Pass-Through. Now, I mention right now, before I jump deep into this segment of the video, do not harass these creators. They've already had their share of harassment and their drama is mostly over. I do not condone any sort of harassment to these creators, especially if things were actually legitimately cleared up. A lot of these creators were allegedly accused of being pedophiles, zoophiles, racist, and more, or even a mix. Calling these people out was for the better of them, for the most part. At least they were cancelled so hard into the ground it caused them to basically be homeless because of their shitty life at their homes and their mental health being destroyed because of it, essentially taking money from others and not finishing their comms, aka scamming, and have had grooming allegations because they made not safe for work of their cousins. Fursona, turns out that she was 17 at the time, thus still doesn't excuse this. And others actually did groom people, being a pedophile, openly discussed sex with minors, and tried dating a 12-year-old. I've heard that one. I don't know if that's true, so don't take my word for that. Take it with a grain of salt. Now, you may be asking me, what does this have to do with the community? Well, they are bad people within the community who were majority popular, and allegations being released, well, paints a bad light on the community and on the whole, and more specifically them. There's also the meme factory saga, at least what I call it. You might ask, Damon, what's that? Well, it's a period of time and still isn't even a thing today. It's when an original animation meme is posted and everyone goes to do it, which there isn't any issue with that necessarily, but it feels like, well, a factory. Just copy and paste when animators basically copy it movement to movement rather than trying to do somewhat make it more original or change things up. Which, again, nothing is really wrong with this, but it was a huge issue then and kind of made the community die a little bit, especially with the lack of new memes. This is kind of a reason why I've been going back to old animation memes, or I've been drawn to old animation memes, a sense of nostalgia, and I seem late to the party, which, yes, I am. I feel it's better to be late than super early. because people produced those so fast and made the community just stale for a while. There was also a hell ton of pressure among creators to make videos, like most content creators, which helped influence the saga, I call it, and it really burnt people out. One notable example I can recall off the top of my head is Lukazi, don't know if I said that right, known as some other past aliases, but currently on YouTube, the of Lukazi, or display as their name, similar to myself, Delilah. I do not consider myself within the community as I was when I was a younger wolf, which honestly, if you've been following me since then, yikes man, hello old friends. This essay was more of a rant / analysis, but it is me somewhat testing the waters for this content and honestly my take on this. Just let me know what you think. The animation meme community has had its ups and downs, as you can see, and it's had a vast community and platforms where memes were uploaded on. One part of the community I was a part of when I was like under 12 years old was the scratch.mit.edu animation meme community. Yeah, I know. Weird. I was also pretty edgy, unfortunately. We've been there. It was the 2010s for hell's sake, and most of us were still kids. At least if you're the target majority of my audience, my guess at least. But that's another piece of animation meme history I feel some may not recall or remember, but it's also a prime time of animation memes. A lot of it was coded, as the website was a coding site for kids to learn easily by learning block code. I've seen some crazy projects on there, and they're really cool. Some via frame by frame using multiple costumes, or a mix of tween coding, making the characters' body parts glide to give them the modern tween look. I know a lot of teens and people still actively use Scratch to this day. I even look back on my account every now and again. I've had multiple accounts and have been on Scratch of about 5+ years. I also wish there were more original memes. People making their own takes on memes because of all of a sudden someone releases an animation meme and has like meme name / original. Obviously, that's pretty exaggerated, but people would actually harass you for those things. It's pretty bizarre. People are and still were afraid to make what they want and feel forced under a label having to follow the original memes. Brother, go do what you want. Original or not, you animate to your heart's desire. Animating is meant to be fun and creative. Don't let the originality limit you. Anyways, Damon, checking out. Thank you for listening to my disjumbled early AM rant. It is currently 2:51 a.m. as I record this. I am leaving. Good night.